$12,000. That's how much David found in an envelope that wasn't his. $12,000. His daughter needed exactly that amount for music school. The tuition deadline was in 6 days. He had $300 in his account. And here's the part that'll haunt you. The old woman who left it had dementia. She'd never remember. Her rich family would never miss it. And his daughter would finally get the future she deserved. Nobody would ever know. But David knew. And that's where this story gets interesting. If you've ever found money that wasn't yours, if you've ever been one choice away from solving all your problems, if you've ever wondered what you'd really do when nobody's watching, stay with me, because what happened in a shoe repair shop on a rainy Tuesday will show you the one truth about integrity that changes everything. Who you are when you're alone is who you really are. 4 minutes, 1 envelope, a choice that will make you question everything. In a neighborhood where people counted coins before buying bread, there lived a 43-year-old man named David. David owned a shoe repair shop, the kind with a hand-painted sign, tools hanging on pegboards, and shoes in various states of repair lining the shelves. His shop smelled like leather and glue. His hands were calloused from years of honest work. And his reputation? Spotless. Kept his word. Business was surviving. Barely. But David had something that made every long day worth it. A daughter named Emma, 9 years old, actually gifted at piano. Emma had been accepted to one of the best music schools in the country. The tuition? $12,000. David had $300 in his account. He'd applied for loans. Rejected. He'd asked family. They had nothing. He'd worked double shifts for months. But the math didn't math. The school needed an answer in 6 days. Pay the tuition or Emma's dream died. That Tuesday, the rain hammered the roof like bullets. At 4 p.m., David was alone in his empty shop, organizing tools he'd already organized, sweeping floors that didn't need sweeping, doing anything to avoid thinking about the tuition deadline. That's when the bell above the door chimed, and Mrs. Chen walked in. Mrs. Chen was 81, frail, confused. She handed David a pair of worn boots and a brown envelope. "The boots need new soles," she said in broken English. "The money's in the envelope. Keep the change for your trouble." David smiled. "Mrs. Chen, boots cost $20. You don't need to." But she was already walking out, humming to herself. "Just fix them good," she called back. David opened the envelope. His heart stopped. $12,000. Exact, crisp $100 bills stacked perfectly. His hands started shaking. He looked outside. Mrs. Chen was gone, swallowed by the rain. He looked at the money, then at the photo of Emma on his counter, holding her acceptance letter. $12,000. Nobody knew it was here. Mrs. Chen clearly had dementia. She probably didn't even remember coming. Her family wouldn't miss it. They were rich anyway. And Emma deserved this chance. She'd practiced piano until her fingers bled. This was fate. The universe providing. A miracle in a brown envelope. David's conscience whispered, "This is wrong." But his desperation screamed louder. "This is survival." He locked the door, turned off the lights, sat in darkness with 12,000 reasons to become someone he'd never been before. Here's what nobody tells you about integrity. It costs something. Sometimes it costs everything. David didn't sleep that night. He held the envelope like it was burning him. At 3 a.m., he stood over Emma's bed, watching her sleep. In his mind, he saw 2 futures. Future 1, he keeps the money. Emma goes to music school, becomes a concert pianist, changes her entire life. Nobody gets hurt. Mrs. Chen's family has plenty. It's a victimless crime. He'd just be borrowing from the universe's surplus. Future 2. He returns the money. Emma's dream dies. He stays poor, stays struggling. And for what? For some outdated idea of doing the right thing that doesn't pay bills? The choice seemed obvious. But then David remembered something his father told him before he died. "Son, integrity is what you do when doing the right thing costs you everything. Character isn't what you do when people are watching. It's who you are when you're alone with an envelope." At 6 a.m., David made a call. He tracked down Mrs. Chen's son, explained everything. The son went silent. Then he said, "That money, that was my mother's life savings. She has Alzheimer's. We've been searching everywhere. We thought it was gone forever. You could have kept it." "I know," David said quietly. The son showed up an hour later with his whole family. They tried to give David a reward. He refused. They insisted, at least let them pay for Emma's first year. He refused again. "It wasn't mine to keep," he said. "It was never a choice." But here's the part that broke him. Mrs. Chen's son worked at a foundation that funded arts education. When he heard about Emma, he made a call. By that evening, Emma had a full scholarship, 4 years, fully paid. David didn't do the right thing to get the reward. The reward came because he did the right thing, but that's not even the lesson. Here's what will haunt you. For the rest of his life, every time David looked in the mirror, he saw a man who passed the test. When Emma played piano at Carnegie Hall 15 years later, he cried, not just from pride, but because he knew his integrity had built the stage she stood on. But imagine the other version. Imagine if he'd kept the money. Sure, Emma still plays piano, but every time David hears her perform, there's a ghost in the room. A lie, a theft, a choice that rotted him from the inside. Because here's the secret about integrity that nobody tells you. You're not protecting your reputation. You're protecting your ability to sleep at night. You're protecting the person you have to live with forever. You. The world will give you a million chances to cheat, cut corners, take what's not yours, and most times you'll get away with it. But there's one person you can never lie to, one witness you can never silence, yourself. So here's my question. Who are you when you're alone with the envelope? Because life will test you, maybe not with $12,000, maybe with a found wallet, a wrong price at checkout, a secret nobody will discover, a lie that benefits you, and in that moment, you'll have a choice. Become who you pretend to be, or reveal who you actually are. David chose integrity when it cost him everything, and in return, he got to keep the one thing money can't buy, himself. If this story made you feel something real, subscribe to this channel. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And the next time you're alone with your envelope, whatever form it takes, remember David. Because integrity isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest when dishonesty is easier. Now go, and when your moment comes, choose wisely.